Hi everyone, how are we today? I'm just doing an all signs love reading. I'm just looking at past, present, future for what's going on with your love life. So, whether you're actually in a connection or looking for a connection or neither, we'll have a quick look and see what is going on for you with love. Okay, I do apologize in advance if I am a bit sniffly or coughing at all during the video. I have got some really bad allergies at the moment, and they're just not giving me a break this week. I will also let everyone know that if you do leave a comment on one of my videos, you will go in the draw for a free personal reading. I'll be drawing that when we hit our first 100 subscribers. So keep up with the likes and subscribes, guys. I really do appreciate the support. Obviously, just a super small channel, so it really does mean a lot to me. So thank you for everyone who is already subscribed. Now, today I will be using the Art Nouveau Lenormand deck. I also have the Romantic Fairy Oracle, and I will be taking timestamps as well. So if you do see me looking slightly distracted, that's what I'm doing, okay? So getting started today with Aries. How are we today, Aries? Okay, just looking at past, present, future for Aries with their love life, please. Okay, and just an oracle for Aries with their love life, please. Okay, so in the past, we do have this house energy coming through for you today, Aries. So that does mean that, you probably have in the past had quite, secure, some sort of security when it does come to love. So, a lot of the Aries watching probably are already in connections that are feeling quite secure and stable. It does sort of have that sense of finding home kind of a vibe. It does talk about family as well, family connections. Okay, so some of you may, have children, have an actual family. Like I said, I am getting the vibe that a lot of you are currently connected to somebody. So you may have that, family kind of vibe. This person may be home to you. That's that safe, secure bubble of protection around you there, Aries. So, for a past energy, quite stable and secure. There's sort of no big red flags jumping on out with that card. It does just sort of talk about, that solidness, that there's not really much movement with that. It's very solid, stable, somewhere to come home to. So even if you're not currently in a connection, there may be someone from the past who is kind of, home to you. And they do, it kind of is that vibe of they're always going to be stable and there for you if you do need them. So for others of you, that is kind of just referring to, finding home within yourself, when it comes to love as well, finding that stability and security within yourself before sort of moving forward into actual love connections. In the current energy, we do have the sun coming through for you, Aries. So that does talk about a lot of happiness, okay? There's a lot of happiness to be had for you with love connections at this time. When I'm reading current energy, I do sort of stick to, roughly, from here within the next week and a week each side of where we're at whenever you're watching this video, of course. But time is pretty fluid, okay? So current can extend a bit longer or shorter, with these readings there. But we are seeing a lot of happiness. With the sun, though, we do find that sometimes things coming to light with the sun, things being revealed to us. What's actually being revealed, I can kind of see it straight away here in the future position, because we do have the coffin in the future position. Okay, so that really does talk about, something coming to light that it's being revealed to you that there's something that needs to end in the near future for you, Aries, with love. So whether this is something within yourself that you do need to sort of put a stop to, or whether this is, an actual, relationship that may not be for your highest good, you kind of already know, or you will very soon, that will be revealed to you very soon, that there is some sort of an ending coming up for you, Aries. Now, with the coffin card, though, it does talk about, the death of a situation, but also the rebirth of that energy into something brand new, either with this same person or with somebody else. Okay, so when we do see that coffin card, it's never really something hugely scary, like an actual death or anything like that. A lot of the time, it just does talk about, if you are in an active connection, it does just talk about, an element that does need to come to an end. So, if there has been some sort of conflict, that needing to come to an end. If there's been a lack of communication, that's probably what needs to come to an end. And use that energy, use that ending, to energize into brand new beginnings, and spark something brand new from that. Okay, because what we find is, energy is pretty universal. So when the lid closes down on something, that energy will then be transformed into something else. So it's really up to you, Aries. What I feel that you probably intuitively know for yourself what it is that does need to come to an end within love, and romance for you. A lot of the time, this even could just be within yourself. Certain feelings, of doubt, and maybe, control, all those sorts of things. Sometimes it's those things within ourselves that need to come to an end in order to progress the connection, to a sort of the next stage. All right, and we do have an oracle here for your future energy as well, which I've got the reaching out card. Okay, so that does say expect a call or text from your person of interest. So, there's obviously some sort of communication coming in, or you yourself will be the one reaching out in the near future there. So whatever's being revealed to you in the current, it is going to lead to some sort of conversation. And that's probably exactly what we're seeing, that ending coming through. So reaching out to this person, even if you're with them every single day, reaching out to them in a conversation type manner is probably, what needs to happen here in order to, close out those negative things and move forward into more positive things for you. But obviously, if it's a situation where you, not currently with somebody, expecting to, start to connect, and start reaching out and branching out into love once again. So even for the singles, this reaching out, maybe that's what's ending, is that period of being alone, and then moving into this period of where you are reaching out in order to connect with somebody new, with love. All right, Aries. So that's what I have for you today, Aries. So I'll move on to Taurus. How are we today, Taurus? Just looking at past, present, and future with love for you. Okay, Taurus. Taurus, past, present, future for Taurus with love, please. Okay, and an oracle for our Taurus as well, please. Okay, so we are seeing in the past position the tree has come through. So this sort of really does show us that in the past you have sort of grown a lot when it comes to love and matters of the heart. I do feel that the tree does talk about self-care quite a lot. So you've probably grown your self-love quite substantially as well Taurus. As you can see in this particular card, this is a full tree here. It's a tree in its full maturity. So it's kind of like, you have expanded and grown so much that you now are this big, beautiful tree, with lots of blossoming leaves, ready for love, kind of a vibe. So whether you are or are not in a connection, what really matters here is that in the past you have shown yourself that you have grown exponentially, and you really have taken that on board and used that knowledge and wisdom to sort of guide you to where you are now. So we're definitely seeing, you looking after yourself in the past, and taking the time to grow yourself for when it does come to matters of the heart, Taurus. In the current energy, we do have the cross coming through. So the cross is a very spiritual, religious type energy, okay? Obviously we all know, the cross represents sort of religious aspects in a lot of cultures and whatnot. So we do really see that spiritual, religious type energy there. So whether it doesn't really matter what you personally believe in, it really gives us that sensation of, you really are on your destined path one way or another when it comes to love, and to have faith and trust in God, so to speak, that everything is working out exactly how it is supposed to. We do sometimes get a sense of, a cross to bear, being carrying some burdens, but after doing so much personal growth, I really kind of feel that there's no need to be carrying any burdens when it comes to love, Taurus. Just having that faith and believing in love at the moment is what's needed for you. Now, in the future energy, we do have the scythe. Okay, so the scythe does let us know that in the future, you may be making some sudden changes, a sudden breakaway from negative things in your life, and suddenly, sort of unexpectedly, making some big changes when it comes to love. So, if you are not currently with somebody, I would expect that to be the biggest change coming through for you. If you are connected to somebody, there may be some big changes coming up, unexpected plot twist coming up with the connection. Now, I'm not saying, that you're definitely going to break away from this person or anything like that. It definitely could just be breaking free from old habits within relationships, one or both of you within the partnership, making some big life changes that may affect the relationship. It could also talk about leveling up to the next stage as well, but it does really carry with it a very sort of unexpected kind of vibe. Like these, you kind of don't even know what changes to expect because they're going to be so drastic and unexpected, that and quite sudden as well. With this, it's kind of like these changes come in so quickly that you could never even prepare for them anyway, because it's just like a big sudden change. All right, so definitely seeing some changes coming in for you with love, Taurus. But we do also have the responsibilities card has come through that does say romance interrupted, duties come first. So that may be a bit of an indication about what those changes are. One of you, if you are in a partnership, one of you may actually have, some responsibilities like career, or, other sorts of responsibilities, family, all those sorts of things that may actually pop up unexpectedly. And, you're needing to take care of those before you can sort of focus on the connection itself. So if anything, that would be what I'd be prepared for, some sort of unexpected responsibilities to crop up, within your connection. All right. If you are single, that this really does sort of say that you may be needing to sort of focus on a different area of life rather than love at the moment, and that being the biggest change that you're making in the near future there. But that you are, you know, I do sort of see with that cross card that you are, as long as you have faith that it will come around eventually, you will be able to handle these responsibilities and move forward. It may just not be in the very, very, close future. It may just take a little bit more time to what you may be hoping for, Taurus. All right. But duties do come first, responsibilities come first. And, that's going to be different for everyone within the collective as well. Like I said, for some of you with children, you would understand that, responsibilities sometimes do come out of nowhere and do, suddenly take priority in your life. All right. But we'll have a look for Gemini. How are we today, Gemini? Just looking at past, present, future when it comes to your love life. Okay, Gemini. Past, present, future for Gemini in love. Okay, so I do have the exact same past here as what I saw for the Aries reading. So if you do have strong placements in Aries, or you're connected to a person who is an Aries, maybe having a look at that portion as well. But I'll grab an oracle for you there, Gemini. Gemini, with love, please. Pardon me, Gemini. We do in the past position have the house. Okay, so you're coming from a very sort of stable and secure position when it comes to love. I do find, for a lot of people, this is just, coming from a secure, family kind of a vibe. So you may sort of have some really great role models within your own family that sort of have shown you how to, deal with love and romance in your life. That may not be for everybody, of course, but we also it's just that sense of, stability and security within yourself. So, you may just be, very secure in who you are and what you do want from love. We may also be seeing, a very solid connection here as well in the recent past for you, Gemini. So, you are going to know your own situation the best, but we are starting off with a very secure, stable positioning here. And it is a very family-based position as well. So, you may be in a connection where this person is home to you, or you do have a family with this person. That's definitely something that could be showing as well. But then in the present position, we do have the fish card. Okay, so that really does talk about abundance. All right, so I do feel that, for all the single Geminis, this is actually showing us that, there's a lot of little fish in the sea. There's plenty of fish in the sea at the moment, Gemini. Lots of love energy available to you at the moment. Lots of, you can kind of see there's 4 different fish here. So we've got plenty of fish in the sea. So if you don't like this one, you can throw it back in and go for this one instead. All right, so we do sort of get this abundant sensation, though, that there's a lot of abundance with love for you. It can talk about, wealth and finances as well. It is a financial card, so you may just be in a very abundant time of your life at the moment, Gemini, and finding that you're meeting a lot of people on the same sort of path as you, people that are, working on their own financials. You may be focusing on your financials rather than love itself at present, all right? But really, it's just that abundance and wealth is a lot more than just money, okay? So if you are already in a connection, this is definitely, like a lot of love, a lot of happiness, all those good things all definitely surrounding you at this time. You have an abundance of positivity around you and your connection. Whether you are single or not, it's definitely a lot of all around you. So there's a lot of love energy in the current for you, Gemini. Now, with the future, we do have the garden, okay? So for our single Geminis, we definitely could be meeting somebody in the near future. The garden really does talk about, social stuff, meeting people. It's, back in the day when they designed the lenormand, the garden was, the public gardens were where we would go on first dates and, meet up with people. It was the only place where it was acceptable for, people to be seen together and be alone together. So it really does talk about, just that aspect of spending time together. It's quite a restful, positive card, quite social as well. So a lot of the time I do read this as, meeting someone new, or spending time with someone, going on a date with somebody, even if it's just to the coffee shop and having a coffee, all those sorts of things. Especially too, a lot of social spaces come through with this card too. So like art galleries, museums, all those sorts of things. So, maybe spending some time at those sorts of places, with your boo, or by yourself, where you may actually meet somebody new. Okay. But I also have the Oracle Love Language Physical Touch coming through for you, Gemini. So that does say a tender touch means so much. So when I do see this card, for the singles, this may actually be talking about some physical connections coming through for you in the near future. Um, obviously, if we are already in a connection, that touch being quite important, within the connection at this time. Sort of actions speak louder than words. So show somebody how you feel, with touch rather than just your words. All right. So quite interesting for you at the moment, Gemini. Let me know in the comments, if that resonates for you. But we'll move on over to our Cancer crew. How are we today, Cancer? Just looking at your past, present, and future when it comes to love. Past, present, future for Cancer with love, please. Okay, and an oracle for Cancer in love, please. Cancer, love for Cancer. Okay, Cancer. So in the past position, we do have the mouse coming through there. Okay, so the mouse really does talk about, a lot of the time it does talk about past energy anyway. So we definitely are looking at your past when it comes to love. This really is something that probably has, sapped your energy a little bit, niggles away in the back of your mind, that it's just that sensation of something that you have lost, or something that was taken from you. It does sort of show us with the mice that, sometimes it does sort of take away from your energy and nibbles away at your energy. We all know mice nibble away at things, and sneak out at night and steal bits of cheese or whatever. So it's kind of like that, but towards your energy. So whatever this is in the past, it has taken quite a lot of your energy, without you maybe even being aware. Sometimes it can talk about theft, like I said. I'm hoping for your sake, Cancer, that we're not actually looking at, any actual theft that has happened for you in the past with love connections. But, we probably are still, in the recent past, there probably has been that sensation of, I've lost this connection, or I've lost something when it comes to, love and matters of the heart. All right. So, it's one of those energies that, we do usually need to heal a little bit from and deal with that sort of energy so it doesn't continue to eat away at us. All right. But we are seeing in the present, we do have the road. All right. So the road really does let us know that you've probably got some choices and decisions to make in the, in the current, or the very close future. When it does come to love, you may have more than one option on the table for you, Cancer, or this could actually be talking about, making the choice of, you know, if you do have like a crush on somebody, choosing whether or not you are going to, try to follow that path, or if you're going to avoid that path. That's some kind of a vibe, because it really does talk about where your path is leading from here, and whether you're choosing to follow this path or fork off on a different path. So sometimes it may be a choice between people. Other times it's kind of more of a, do I stay on this current path or do I choose a new path? I did just do a reading on choice, and we were looking at aspects of choice, with that yesterday's all sign reading. So that might have some clues for you as well. Maybe something you might want to watch just to sort of get to the bottom of that for yourself. But I feel for a lot of you just intuitively that it's kind of looking at, choosing to, do we follow this path of holding on to this loss, or do we choose to sort of walk a new path and remove that loss from our energy? Okay, I feel like that is probably what we're looking at for quite a lot of you, Cancer. But for others of you, this is definitely, it also reminds us that, no matter which choice you make, you are on your path. The path that is yours, you are definitely already on it. Okay, and it kind of just lets us know that you're on the right path no matter what choice you kind of make. But yeah, choosing between, this or that, um, them or that person, it does bring to mind that there probably is a decision that you need to make at the moment. I do feel that for some of you, if this is not two people that you need to choose between, it's just that choice of, do I chase that person, or do I, continue to dwell on this past person, or do I, choose to find something different altogether, or do I even choose to avoid love at the moment altogether? So, the choice is up to you, Cancer. Free will exists, and this is your path, and you alone can walk it. But in the near future, we do have the heart. Okay, so in the near future, there is a huge potential for love and romance, and with the actual heart coming out in a love reading, a lot of the time it really does talk about that unconditional love, a really deep soul love. So if that's what you're after, follow that path to find it, because it's not far down that road. All right. We do really have that option, and it also lets us know things like opening your heart, be a bit more vulnerable with people in the near future. It does let us know, follow your heart. So if there's something in your heart that you do truly desire or wish for, to follow that desire. All right, that's sort of, with the path especially, it really does tell us to follow the path of your heart at the moment, Cancer. We also do have the natural evolution card, all right? So that does say, let the situation unfold naturally. So it kind of lets us know that if you are already in a connection, there may be something about that connection that's sort of evolving to the next level. And this, whatever choice you're making, it is going to sort of lead to some sort of evolution. For you with love. So for a lot of, if you're single, that's sort of that evolution from being single to with somebody, or meeting somebody, or whatever. So but if there's someone in particular on your mind, you really do have the chance to evolve this and help this sort of unfold. It's still going to unfold naturally, but it's really telling us, follow the path of your heart at the moment. So part of that path is letting things unfold and letting things evolve as well. All right, Cancer. So that's what I have for you today. So we will move on to our Leos. Hi, Leo. How are we today? Just looking at the past, present, and future for love for you. Okay, Leo, past, present, future with love. Okay, and an oracle for Leo with love, please. Okay, so Leo, we do have the bear in the past position for you. So, in the past, you probably have been quite guarded against love, quite protective of yourself. In the past position, this could definitely be talking about, being quite defensive against love, trying to stand in your own power, be protective over yourself, guarding your heart, so to speak. So, we do find the bear is quite a strong, powerful energy to sort of be in, but has very strong boundaries and doesn't let people get too close. All right. So I do feel as though you, Leo, maybe have been a little bit defensive against even just the idea of love. So whether you are or are not in a connection, it's kind of feels like it's time to let those walls down a little bit. That this is a past energy. Okay. So if you do recognize that you have been a little bit defensive against love in the past, now's the time to, protect yourself and have those boundaries for sure, but more so, to make sure we're not going into overprotective and guarded energy, all right? But in the present, we do have the key. Okay, so the key really does talk about success, does talk about brand new doors opening to you, sort of unlocking the future for you there. It really does, the keys to success are in your hands, Leo. So we do find that with the key, it really does talk about, successful time for you with when it comes to love. Like I said, opening new doors for you. So when I do sort of see the key when it comes to love, it does also present multiple options. You can sort of there is multiple keys in this card. We've got two down the bottom here, as well as the one she is holding there. So it does sort of bring to mind the idea of multiple doors that you can unlock. So it's really, choosing which doors you want to unlock. But it also does reference, opening your heart as well. So, giving someone the key to your heart, giving someone the key to your place, receiving the key to somebody's place. If you are already in a connection with somebody, it definitely could be talking about that kind of thing as well. So that's quite interesting, Leo. But in the future, we do have the birds. Okay, so the birds really does talk about, it's got a few messages with the birds. I do want to say today I'm feeling that, gossip and chitter chatter may be somehow affecting your connection in the near future. You may be hearing gossip about somebody. If you are single, you may be hearing gossip about somebody, that kind of a vibe. But it's really sort of tells us to have a conversation rather than just, listening to the chitter chatter. Have a conversation with somebody. All right. So if you are in a connection or you're not in a connection, it really does talk about opening those doors to communication and being quite clear in our communication with others and with potential lovers or current lovers. Really, sitting down and having that deeper, meaningful conversation. So that's what I'm sort of seeing in your near future there. We also have the Fearless Love Oracle has come through. That does say a courageous leap into the unknown. All right. So now really is the time to, let down those walls, open up brand new opportunities for yourself with love, Leo. And there may be the opportunity to sort of take a big jump when it comes to love. So even if you're already in a connection, this definitely could be talking about jumping into new aspects of the connection, having that conversation about where we're going from here, that kind of a vibe. All right. So that's what I have for you today, Leo. Pretty straightforward, I must say. But let me know if that resonates for you. But for now, we will move over to our Virgos. How are we today, Virgo? Just looking at the past, present, and future for you with love. Okay, Virgo. Past, present, future for Virgo with love. Okay, and an oracle for Virgo. I won't take that one. If it really wants to come out, it will come out. Virgo with love, please. Okay, so Virgo, we do see in the recent past for you the key. Okay, so you have been in a very successful love. I want to say for a lot of you, you probably already connected to somebody. So it has been quite successful. And in the past, you have sort of realized that you have opened your heart to somebody, or you have sort of opened the door to let somebody in. I feel so. I feel a lot of you probably are currently connected, because this is sort of showing us that you have, you know, recently opened the door to let love in. So even if you are single, that's kind of what it's talking about, opening up ourselves to finally let love in, kind of a vibe. So but looking like we are open to love at this time. This is recent past. So we have sort of had a lot of success personally, and now that success transferring into opening new doors for yourself. All right, so and those new doors are actually leading you to a current position of stability. We have the anchor here, so that really does talk about the things that anchor us in life. So finding someone who anchors you, keeps you stable, keeps you secure, holds you steady when those storms blow on in, kind of a vibe. So it's a very positive kind of energy to be seeing in a love reading, because it does hold us steady. All right, and it's kind of that steady progression. So if you are in a connection, you can kind of be feeling that it's a steady progression. It may be feeling somewhat a little bit stuck here and there, but it is quite a stable feeling. It's not sort of going anywhere. There's no movement here. It's quite rigid, and it's not moving backwards. So at the present, even if you are feeling a little bit stuck with love, it's a secure stuck. Okay, it's not a negative stuck. It's a holding you in place. So even if you're not with somebody, it's holding you in place, ready for the right thing to come along. Especially when you have just come from that key energy, there's a lot of success there. So we do sort of feel that this is a very steady, stable vibe coming through. And then with the near future, we actually have the ring. Okay, so that really does talk about successful relationships in the near future. So whether you are or are not connected, there is a stable relationship coming in for you in the near future. So, for those of you who are connected, there could actually be a physical ring coming your way, or being given in the near future. That we definitely do see, especially in this particular deck. She's sitting there admiring this ring on her finger. It's not actually on her wedding finger, but it definitely could be talking about a proposal coming in. But really just staying steady and secure within that relationship. It does look like it's quite stable, and a strong relationship there. We also have this is why I kind of say it definitely could be a physical ring, because we do have the oracle of love language gift giving here. Okay, so someone may be gifting you a ring, or you're gifting somebody a ring. Whether or not that's a marriage type ring, that's totally up to you and the progression of your personal relationship. But we do see tokens of equal reciprocity hold cherished memories. Okay, so some sort of token of love, a physical gift, a physical token of the love that you share with this person in the near future. Okay, so that could just be something as simple as someone giving you a bunch of flowers, or whatever that may be for you. So if you are you know, it's probably a good time for you to give somebody a gift as well, because it does have reciprocal energy in that card. Okay, so it's like that giving and receiving energy. All right, so it doesn't matter whether you're on the receiving end of that gift or the giving side of that gift. There's probably a gift in the near future. All right, so we'll move over to Libra. How are we today, Libra? Just looking at the past, present, and future for you when it comes to love. Okay, Libra and love. Past, present, future for Libra with love. Okay, and an oracle for our Libra with love. Okay, and I really hate to say it, but the song that's playing in the background at the moment, Libra, is that it must have been love, but it's over now. So I hope that that's not an indication of what we're looking at here today. The past energy, I do have the fox energy, all right? So the fox energy, in a love reading, it really does talk about taking care of ourselves first. So it could definitely be, a person that you've been connected to in the past who was only sort of, looking after their self interests. As well, because it does have a bit of a player energy when it is, somebody else in a love reading. So it's normally someone quite, clever and cunning, but to the point of, possibly being a bit tricky, saying what they think you want to hear, kind of a vibe. All right. So whether that's you or someone you've been connected to in the past, I am getting a little bit of that player kind of vibe coming through. And it's really coming through though as that worrying about themselves, number one, and not so much worrying about, working as a team. It's definitely, a solo player here. So whether that's you or someone else you have encountered in the recent past, I am getting a very solo energy from that. um, in the current position, we do have the child, okay? So the child reminds us to, really look at love, with the innocence of a child's eyes, okay? Look through, your inner child and experience the happiness and the joy and the sense of, everything could be an adventure from here on out. It really does remind us to, try to stay quite positive and innocent really about the way that we're looking at love at the moment, all right? And like I said, that everything could be a brand new adventure for you. With this also, I do want to say that it could definitely be saying that that past person, if that was a past person there, um, there may have been some immaturity that you're still kind of dealing with, the effects of, immaturity within a past connection, and sort of wanting to sort of grow yourself a little bit there. Because I do, in the future there, I do have that oracle of self-love, and that does say love yourself first. So I'm kind of feeling that, if that's someone else that's been that fox energy toward you, Libra, that you now need to embrace that for yourself and worry about yourself first. You need to sort of, you know, nurture your inner child and really look after yourself, number one, okay? Um, but in the future here, we do have a conversation coming through. That is the birds card. And that really does talk about conversations, clear communication. So, you're going to know what that is specifically for you, whether that's a communication, with somebody new, or whether this is a conversation you need to have with somebody in regard to getting closure from this past situation. I do feel for a lot of you, we are looking at a past person here coming through today. It could also just be, communicating clearly with yourself as a form of self love. Really communicating with yourself, how do I nurture my inner child when it comes to love and being in a loving space and, procuring love in the future. It's sort of letting me know that there is definitely some sort of conversations, communication that needs to happen when it comes to love at the moment, Libra, and the self-love really is overriding that. I feel that you really do need to focus on yourself first and foremost at the moment, Libra. All right. But that's what I have for you today, Libra. Let me know in the comments if that resonates for you. Obviously, feel free to check your other placements as well. But we'll move over to Scorpio. How are we today, Scorpio? Just looking at past, present, and future energy for you today, Scorpio, when it comes to love. Past, present, future love for Scorpio. Okay, and an oracle for Scorpio with love, please. Okay, so in the recent past, we do have the tree energy for you, Scorpio. So that does sort of show us that you have been through this period of, a lot of growth when it comes to love. The tree really does talk about self-growth, self-care, personal wisdom, personal knowledge, and nurturing yourself, all right? So you really have been taking care of yourself and doing the work, I feel, Scorpio, when it comes to love, looking after yourself so that you can become this full, beautiful tree full of leaves, ready to spread your branches out into the world. So it really does feel as though you have really been looking after yourself and doing the things you have needed to grow within love and within yourself in order to, receive and give love in the future. So that's a lovely past energy to be seeing there, Scorpio. We do have the current energy of the snake, okay? So that actually does, with a love reading, that really does flag me out as, passion, desire, physical intimacy, all right? So in the present, there may be someone around you that is very, passionate and desirous of you. There may be some physical intimacy, connecting you to somebody at the moment. So, when I say that, they're talking about a lot of sex, Scorpio. So, in the current position there, we are seeing a lot of, desire and temptation to, get physical. All right. So that's quite interesting. In the near future, we do have the rider. All right. So the rider does bring good news pretty quickly, too. So, the future is right around the corner and it's bringing good news your way, Scorpio. I do feel that, that good news is probably specifically in regard to your desired outcomes for love for yourself. All right. But, that's going to be a bit different for everyone within the collective. If you are someone who is only after that physical, well then, the good news is that it's, the energy for that is all around you currently, but definitely very fast moving energy with the rider, and it's usually good news on the way headed straight for you, Scorpio. For those of you who are looking for something a little bit deeper, we do have the real feelings oracle that has come through with that there. So that does say you share true romantic feelings worth exploring. So I do feel that for some of you, this good news on the way is that someone has real feelings towards you. So what we might be seeing here is that it might be starting off as a current physical connection, and then that person may actually come towards you and say, look, I actually have real feelings towards you, Scorpio. I want more than just that physical connection because I have real feelings. So I do feel that may be that good news coming towards a lot of you. If you are already in a connection, probably having great sex at the moment, and there's some sort of good news headed your way about that as well, about that connection, okay? So moving on to our Sagittarius. How are we today, Sagittarius? Just looking today at the general past, present, and future for you with love. Okay, Sagittarius, past, present, future for Sagittarius with love. Okay, and an oracle card for Sagittarius with love, please. Okay, so Sagittarius, the past energy we have for you today is the coffin. All right, so that does show us that there is something that has ended with love in the recent past for you, Sagittarius. This may have been, a connection that has ended, but something that has ended. But what actually happens with the coffin is when you close the lid on something there, especially in the past, when you've closed the lid on something in the past there, it actually regenerates and rebirths brand new energies. All right, so we do see, death is just a brand new beginning, a rebirth of something new. All right, so whatever you've ended in the past there, it actually has sort of brought through some brand new energy for you, Sagittarius. That brand new energy that we've got in the current for you, we have the stars. All right, so anyone that does know the Lenormand or has watched any of my videos and has seen the stars before, you will know that this is one of my personal favorite cards because it does talk about wish fulfillment. All right, all your wishes are coming true. All right, so you may be starting to see some of your wishes with love starting to come true for you at the moment, Sagittarius. And we that's obviously a beautiful energy to have. It also brings with it a lot of hope and optimism. So even if you haven't directly had any wishes starting to come true, remain optimistic because those stars are within your reach, Sagittarius. All right. And then in the near future, we do have the tree energy. Okay. So the tree energy is all about you and your self-care, your personal wisdom and growth as a person, your growth within aspects of the heart. All right, so you probably whatever you've gone through in the past there with that past ending, you're probably actually realizing in the near future, look, I've grown so much that past thing, it's totally not me anymore, because I do find with this tree card that a lot of self-growth and a lot of wisdom from, especially from things like endings and things that have ended in the past. It does bring through whole new levels of wisdom within yourself. You've probably learned a lot from that experience, and I do feel that in the near future you're realizing how much you've actually grown and changed and learnt between that past thing and now or near future. Okay, and we're also getting the teas oracle card coming through. So that does say the energy is fun and light-hearted but uncertain. All right, so it really brings to mind that you're having a lot of fun. There's a lot of you've grown into this brand new tree, and now you're just looking at having a bit of fun and staying really light-hearted while you're waiting for your truest wishes to come on in for you. But it can be a little bit uncertain, like you're not sure exactly where you stand, with this person. So we do sort of feel that any uncertainty that you may have, if that's bothering you, sit down and have a conversation with that person. Like we see, you have grown quite a lot. You're probably quite clear and know what your wishes and desires with connections are at the moment. So if you are desiring something more than just a little bit of playful fun, sit down and have that conversation. But we are just, I'm just feeling that there is a little bit of uncertainty, a little bit of a connection where, we just don't really know where we're going with that connection. It's just very fun and playful, which, is a lovely energy with a connection to have that playfulness and that fun. But, with that uncertainty, you probably want to clear that out, I would imagine. All right, but if you have been through that coffin energy in the recent past, then maybe a bit of fun and playfulness is exactly what you need at the moment. Obviously, you will know the best. Okay, so moving on to our Capricorns. How are we today, Capricorn? Just looking at past, present, and future for you with love. Okay, Capricorn. Past, present, future for Capricorn with love, please. Okay, and an oracle for our Capricorns with love, please. Okay, so the past energy we have here today, this is the whip, or the rod or the broom, whatever you want to sort of call that particular card. It covers all those energies in different decks. It can be different. It can be the broom, it can be the rod, or it can be the whip as well. So it does cover all those there, but usually it does talk about trouble or tension, challenges that you've faced in the past there. There may have been some fighting, but this is something that you have swept away in the past. You've removed that tension from your life in the past here, with that being in the past energy there. But it really just does talk about, you've had some trouble with love in the recent past, and really needing to clear that energy out of you, or out of your system, or out of your energy, out of your heart, I feel. But because we do have both the whip and the broom here in this image, the whip really does talk a lot more about, the trouble and the tension, and possible conflict and fighting, and the broom really does sort of sweep that energy away from you, cleaning house, so to speak. So it's good that this is it's very good to see that this is a past energy, rather than a current energy or anything like that. But it does show us that you have come from a bit of trouble in the recent past when it comes to love. All right, so this is probably why we're seeing the clouds in your current energy, Capricorn. The clouds is all about your thoughts, all right, but with the clouds, I do find a lot of the time it's kind of like currently you're having a bit of clouded judgment, confusion about love. Are probably confused about where you want to go with love. We did just do a All Signs reading about choices. So if you can categorize your confusion into two categories there, I do suggest watching that choice video, to see where to go from here, how to clear that confusion for yourself. But it also does talk about, you're overthinking at the moment to the point of, maybe anxiety or depression about love at the moment, Capricorn. So it really does remind us with the clouds card to look for the silver lining. Okay, that past energy, it's in the past for a reason. All right, it was too much trouble. You needed to sweep that out of your life. So there's no point sort of letting it eat away at your thoughts, and sort of lead you to any depression or anxiety about things that have happened in the past. Not at all. Look for the silver linings, and really focus on positive thoughts. Every time you do sort of have a negative thought, bring it on in, and look for the silver lining, and look for the positive thought that can go along with that. So it's kind of reminding us to not just worry about the worst case scenario. Think about the best case scenario as well, so you can transform that cloud energy. All right, so just overthinking a little bit at the moment, Capricorn. We also, in the future position, have the child. All right, so that reminds us once again to stay, innocent and positive, when it comes to, how we're thinking about love. Really, really trying to, heal your inner child a little bit there too, but also, just looking at the world through a child's eyes, looking at everything as though it could be a brand new adventure. We do see that it definitely could be, something coming along in its infancy for you, Capricorn. So if you're not connected to anyone, there may be some, an like the infancy of it, the beginning of a situation coming in soon for you. But I really do feel though that this is just reminding us to, find the joy and the wonder, and that sense of adventure that children just innately have. Finding that within yourself, finding your inner child and nurturing them, and letting them, express themselves a little bit. Go on the swings, and let loose, let that inner child free in the near future, Capricorn, and you will find that that innocence and wonderment will come back for you. All right, and maybe starting some new beginnings as well. But we also have the oracle of physical connection, Capricorn. So that does say the sacred union of bodies, two becoming one. All right. So with the physical connection, I think a lot of us can imagine what that is about straight away. It is talking about, physical intimacy. There may be someone coming in for you at the moment, offering, that physical side of things. So we definitely could have a new beginning that's quite physical. You may be meeting someone for sex, and you never know what sort of comes after that. Could be a brand new adventure, but I do feel that whoever you are meeting up with in the near future, there is going to be a strong physical connection between you and this person. All right, so don't dwell on those clouds in the current, Capricorn. There's definitely new things for you around the corner. All right, so we'll move on to our Aquarians. How are we today, Aquarius? Just looking at the past, present, and future energy for you with love. Aquarius, past, present, future for Aquarius, please. Okay, and an oracle for our Aquarians with love, please. Okay, Aquarius, I've seen some similar readings coming out with other signs today. So, if you do have strong placements, you may want to check those as well. Firstly, in the past energy, we do have the bear. Okay, so I believe it was Leo that got this in the same placement. So the bear really does talk about, I feel in the past energy, it really does talk about you being quite guarded against love, and it's a very protective energy, but it doesn't let people too close to it. It's quite strong and powerful, but it also is very overprotective of itself, and to the point of being defensive a little bit there as well. So, on guard. I feel you've been very guarded with your heart in the recent past, Aquarius. But what we're actually seeing in the current energy is the key here. So that really unlocks that guarded energy. It's kind of like opening the door to your heart and soul, and allowing that to, have some freedom a little bit there. The key is all about success. Okay, so a lot of success around you at the moment with love opportunity. All right, a lot of brand new doors opening for you at the moment. It's like I said, unlocking the key to your heart, unlocking the key to you becoming more open and vulnerable with people. All right, and we are definitely getting that supported with the future energy here. I've got the woman in the future energy there, so I don't really like to genderize those, but the woman really is a very nurturing energy, right? It really does show that emotional side of ourselves. So you're really starting to unlock those emotions, and open brand new doors within yourself that are quite nurturing and emotional and whatnot. All right, and you're expressing your real feelings, which is lovely. That's the real feelings oracle. It does say you share true romantic feelings worth exploring. So if you are in a current connection or meeting someone in the near future, it's going to be a very emotional connection. It's going to have a lot of real feelings attached to this connection, and with that key there in your current, it shows us that it's safe for you to open up to this person and unlock your soul to this person. All right. So that's pretty straightforward for you today, Aquarius. Let me know in the comments if that resonated for you. But for now, we'll move over to Pisces. How are we today, Pisces? Just looking today at your past, present, and future with love. Okay, Pisces, past, present, future for Pisces with love. Okay, and an oracle for our Pisces with love, please. Whoa, okay. That one wanted to fly on out, so we'll take that. All right, so in the recent past, Pisces, we do have the moon energy, okay? So that really does talk about emotional sensitivities, all right? So in the recent past, you probably have been a little bit emotional when it comes to matters of the heart. When I do see this card in a past love sort of situation, it does lead me to believe that something in the past has happened that has caused you a lot of emotional distress, and you've had trouble kind of following your intuition when it comes to love. It's kind of that vibe of your emotions taking over, and I'm feeling a lot of sadness coming through with that moon today, actually, Pisces. So I do feel that there is a bit of sadness in your recent past when it comes to love. You've been quite emotional, and I feel as though you're not even sort of looking at love at the moment, because it's just causing you some sadness and pain in the recent past. So I do feel as though that's probably something that has really affected you. I feel, Pisces. It's feeling quite emotional, like making me a little bit emotional here. But yeah, there's a lot of emotion attached to the moon card, but it also reminds us that the mother moon is always watching, and there is a lot of guidance with the moon as well, a lot of beauty and luck that is there's that potential behind the emotion. All right, so those emotions kind of are there for a reason. It leads us to sort of believe. But yeah, like I said, a very emotional time in the recent past for you when it comes to love, Pisces. But in the current, I do have the rider. All right, so that really does talk about good news on the way. So I'm going to show you the future card here, because I'm feeling that they're very, very linked, because the rider is super fast energy, all right? So even though this is in the current position, it may not have happened yet for some of you, but when it does happen, it's going to come in quick, all right? And it's good news, and it's good news about security and stability. This is the house card, so it really does talk about, starting to feel more secure in love, being able to, have that sense of home with somebody, have possibly start a family with somebody. It's really that stable, secure little bubble where you're safe. All right, it's a safety sort of card, and for some of you, this could actually be things like good news coming in about a house. Like if you're already in a connection, it definitely could be someone coming in with news about let's move in together, or those kinds of a thing. Okay, so it definitely could be talking about a physical house as well. It could also just be talking about that sensation of your safety net, your safety bubble, that sense of family that you have with somebody, whether or not you have a family with them or not. This person may feel like home to you. All right, so and it's coming in quick. It may be quite unexpected, I feel, Pisces, because I'm really getting that this, for a lot of you, this rider hasn't actually come on in yet, but he's coming in quick with news about this house energy. So I do feel for some of you, it's definitely an actual house that the news is about, an actual house. But for others of you, it's just this really quick energy bringing you a lot of stability and security. It's really going to overshadow those doubts and emotions that you've been feeling in the past. It's really going to make you feel much more stable within yourself, Pisces, I feel. All right, so even if it's not actual love coming on in for you, it's news on the way with love, that's going to actually help you feel stable and secure within yourself, within your emotional self. All right, and we do also have love language, acts of service. All right, so that does say actions speak louder than words. All right, so words to live by, guys. It's letting us know that if you do have someone coming in with good news for you, make sure they're following through on that good news with their actions as well. All right. Not just listening to the pretty words that come out of someone's mouth, but making sure that they are following them up with action as well. All right. And this may be you. I do feel that, Pisces, for some of you, this may be you actually wanting to, give a loving action to somebody. Once you're in this beautiful area where you are, in that home energy where you feel safe and secure within yourself, that you may actually start to find happiness in you know doing actions for others around you, whether or not it's actual, you know romantic love connections. I do feel that for a lot of you, Pisces, you may actually really find a lot of love and happiness within, acts of service towards others, and showing your love through action towards others. Okay, so I do feel for a lot of you, especially with that house energy there, I do feel for a lot of you, this is actually talking about, love within your family, whoever your family is to you, because I do feel like this energy is very muchly talking about you within yourself, Pisces, and this acts of service. It's not necessarily coming through as romantic love. So for a lot of you, this definitely could be, showing loving actions toward family or friends, or whoever makes you feel safe and secure within yourself. All right, but we're definitely seeing some fast actions headed toward you with that rider as well, Pisces. So some good news on the way, and it's going to come in a very loving manner. But unfortunately, I don't feel as though it's going to be, full romantic love. It may just definitely be, family or friends giving you love and support. That they may understand that you have been through an emotional time, in the recent past. So, if that's the case, then, love and support is love and support, whether it comes from friends, families, strangers, or lovers. Love and support is love and support. All right. But that's what I have for you today, Pisces. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know if that resonated for you. But hopefully, I will see you all in the next one.